Right now, they won't confirm to us if this is or is not being investigated as an act of terror. This is where it all started at this Admiral gas station. The mother pulled up, parked her car, and went inside to get something. Police say that's when the man jumped in and took off. But in the back seat were her two children. Take a look behind me here. This is the side of the building where the firefighters had to literally cut away at the wall, the ceiling, the floor. The major goal of the Genesee County Land Bank is to clean up neighborhoods in Flint. Well, right now, this government agency is working on cleaning up its own reputation. From Standing Rock to the streets of Flint, this weekend, water activists from all over are showing they stand together. Yeah, Dave, we're in downtown Fenton at the Fenton Community Center right now. You can see all this behind me. To give you an idea of the damage, this is the roof. Here's a piece of the roof tiles right here. This has been blowing around all day. Attorneys got in a pretty heated argument over whether or not the alleged victim needs to be protected in this case. Nearly every piece of technology that we use today, it talks to us through the internet. To give you an idea, here you can pack it into a pretty good snowball, but this is what has road crews worried because it's this moisture that could create ice later tonight. Mold may be living in your home and you may not even know it. And some mold can actually make you sick. The sign read, "Make the township white again." One man was so upset he took a saw to it. This isn't the scene Isaac expected to find in his first week in America. But in its own way, he says this demonstration is making him feel welcome. It's also very important for these researchers. You can see there's a fence up around this building. That's because the bricks are literally crumbling. Beecher beats Grand Rapids Covenant Christian to win the state championship. Congrats to the Buccaneers. Then NBC25's Corey Kompick joins us now. And Corey, this team has quite a reputation when it comes to winning.
They do.
It's not that bad out here, but like you said, it's cold. Traffic's moving pretty well right now on I-75. To our home security cameras, if they're connected to the internet, anyone could be watching you. As a kid climbing these trees, there is a danger there, and Mike Whiting wanted to share that sense of fear. State police are still out on the water. It was about 20 minutes ago or so when the diver came up from the last dive that they did. Ice is messing with your sports.
I guess. I don't know. Is it?
Delaying games.
Oh, yes, true. That's why we're on late tonight. Let's down exactly what happened.
Yeah, Dave, we just got a lot of new details in just the last few minutes here at Flint International Bishop Airport. The biggest thing here, what we've been waiting for all day, the FBI has confirmed this as being investigated as an act of terrorism. We now know a little bit more about who carried out this attack as well. We are told his name is Amor Tui, and he is around 50 years of age and from Canada. He came to the airport this morning, but he was not traveling through the airport. He did not have a ticket. He was not boarding a plane or deplaning here. He was in the airport's public area, so before security, and we're told that he went to a restaurant. He had something to eat. At some point, he went into a restroom, a public restroom that is before the security checkpoint, and he then went through his bags possibly. He came out. He had two bags with him, but what he came out with was something that wasn't seen before he went in. He had a knife. It was about 12 inches long with an 8-inch serrated blade, and when he came out, that's when he selected the officer. It was Officer Jeff Neville. He is a lieutenant at the airport with the police department, previously worked with the Genesee County Sheriff's Office. He attacked him, stabbing him in the neck, and when he did that, when he started attacking the officer, that's when he yelled out several things.
He spent a little time in the restroom, dropped both bags and came out, pulled out a knife, yelled Allah Akbar, and stabbed Lieutenant Neville in the neck. It's an ongoing investigation. There's joint operations going on in Canada as we speak. We want to thank our Canadian partners who are helping us further investigate this attack.
We're told by the FBI that he had a hatred for the United States, but they didn't give us many more specifics beyond that. We are told that he is a lone wolf, that he doesn't have anyone else that he's working with. When we asked if it appeared that he'd received any terrorism-related training from any organization, we were told that they don't believe so at this time, but they said they're continuing to investigate it. They want anyone who knows anything about this individual to also call them, let them know. The FBI says they're continuing to investigate because this man was not on their radar at all. Again, his name is Amor Fatui. His name is actually pronounced Amor Tui. He's around 50 years of age from Canada. They say this man was not previously on their radar. For now, live at Flint Bishop Airport, Stephanie Parkinson, NBC25 News.
Well, thank you, Stephanie, very much. You'll continue to work your sources.
Sadie, that's a detail we don't know and will likely never get the answer to. Investigators have been unable to locate Kamora's body. They say she was buried in a shallow grave but they believe her remains were likely carted off by animals.
In essence, we believe the child was beaten to death.
This is 3-year-old Kimora Simon. Her own parents are charged with murdering her, then burying her body in a shallow grave in this wooded area. This is behind the Evergreen Regency townhome complex on Flint's south side.
For 3 days, the top law enforcement officials in the state have been looking and digging and excavating. We've not found the child's remains.
But that hasn't stopped the Genesee County prosecutor from charging 27-year-old Erica Finley and 26-year-old Kahari Simon in the toddler's death.
So you were charged there with felony murder. Do you understand that?
Yes. A potential case of child abuse with Kimora's 5-year-old brother is what brought this all to light just a few weeks ago. When the state went to investigate the claim, they couldn't find Kimora. The parents' stories then didn't add up. Investigators soon realized Kimora has likely been dead for a year. Despite not finding her body, the prosecutor feels very confident in this investigation.
So the officers had to really come up with information that took a lot of legwork and time and effort to be able to prove to me, to start with, that the child in fact was deceased. They've done an outstanding job here. That is what's allowed us to move forward and try to seek justice for Kimora.
Kimora's 5-year-old brother I mentioned, along with Erica's other son, have both been placed in foster care. Simon and Finley are due back in this courthouse next Tuesday. We will, of course, be staying on top of this, so stay with NBC25 for the very latest. For now, live in Flint, Stephanie Parkinson, NBC25 News. Bill, to give you an idea of where we are, this is South Saginaw Road right here. We're between Bristol and Maple in Burton. This is where it all started at this Admiral gas station. The mother pulled up, parked her car, and went inside to get something. Police say that's when the man jumped in and took off. But in the back seat were her 2 children, her nearly 3-year-old daughter Ariana and her 9-month-old son Lincoln.
I ran in to get cigarettes of all things.
Moments later, her car and her kids gone.
My window was cracked, so I did say, you know, my kids are in the car, and it made them speed off faster.
It was a long 3 hours for Ariana and her baby brother, but the 2 were found safe, still inside this dark blue Monte Carlo on Flint's north side.
Thank God.
The children's grandmother crying and overwhelmed with joy when she heard the good news.
I'm going to be able to hold them again and kiss them again.
For the Burton police chief, it's one of the happiest possible endings to one of the worst calls for help.
Little girl had the biggest smile on her face. Pretty brave little 3-year-old.
Thank God they found them and that they're okay.
Again, as you just heard from the police chief, they do have the suspect they believe responsible for this in custody now. Reporting live in Burton, Stephanie Parkinson, NBC25 News. Yeah, taking a look at the roads right now, Dave and Sadie, they're pretty clear, but it's the ice. That's what we're watching for right now out on the roads. But if you take a look, this isn't much snow really for mid-Michigan, but it's caused a lot of problems out on the roads. We saw a lot of cars going off into the ditch. In fact, at one point, a car spun out right in front of our news van on US 10. And that's why drivers tell us that they're just taking extra time to get where they need to go today.
I actually try to stay in my own lane and go a little bit slower.
Margie Van Sickle says her commute was pretty rough. She can normally get from Mount Pleasant to Midland in about 45 minutes, but that didn't happen today.
It's cold and it's slippery and people drive really bad in it.
In Midland County, the road crews are watching for ice next.
So the temperature's so low, things would melt, and then it refreezes.
That's why these plow trucks are loading up with salt, a liquid brine spray, and even sand for more rural intersections.
So it doesn't get like that crusty hard pack, and so it doesn't ice up on you.
You hoping for spring soon?
Oh yeah. I thought it was coming, but it's not.
Road crews in Midland plan to be out till about 9 o'clock tonight treating the roads. For the potential for ice, obviously, is what they're watching for now, as we said. And so they're asking people, give extra time and space between you and those plow trucks when you do see them out on the road. We will, of course, continue to keep you updated online and on air. For now, live in Midland, Stephanie Parkinson, NBC25 News.
Hi. I'm in the state of Michigan. Do you have any fresh water? No.
Clean water, filters, and lead testing kits, all loaded onto U-Hauls and taken right to the front steps of homes in Flint. For young mothers like Brianna Lewis, it's making it easier for her to know she's doing all she can to keep her baby safe.
It means a lot to me, though. I see that y'all care. I mean, if y'all didn't care, y'all wouldn't be at my door right now.
These volunteers trekked through the snow and ice, knocking on doors, logging every stop on their iPads.
So we know we're not going to miss anybody and nobody's left behind.
If they don't find someone at the house, this is what they're putting on the door.
We need a door hanger.
This has phone numbers, locations, everything people need to know to get access to clean water. Each day, these teams expect to get to around 500 to 600 homes and will be delivering supplies 7 days a week until the need is no longer there.
We will continue to do this until each resident has safe drinking water.
It's an effort the people of Flint are thankful for now, but say they just wish the state would have done this sooner.
Yeah, they did take a long time because now we don't know. People are catching diseases, people are getting sick, they're swelling up.
Brianna refuses to even bathe her baby in the city water, instead using bottled water for that as well. She's just hoping now for a long-term solution to stop the lead from getting into the drinking water.
I just hope they get it together.
In Flint, Stephanie Parkinson, NBC25. But also facing Congress and the White House, Trump's allegations of wiretapping during the election and confirmation hearings for a new Supreme Court justice. Our national correspondent Michelle Macaluso shows us how it could all go down. That's first on Fox. But the Senate might use the nuclear option, which would only require a simple majority to confirm the nominee. In just a few minutes, why the battle over repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act hit home for many people right here in Michigan. We speak to some small business owners for their take on the fight on Capitol Hill. We're now learning an elderly man is dead tonight after a crash in Midland. Midland police say the two-car crash happened at the corner of Isabella and Vance Thursday morning. 82-year-old Robert Johnson was found unconscious when officers got to him. He was taken right to the hospital, but he died there on Friday night. Investigators are still trying to figure out, though, what caused that crash to happen. We were lucky, though, to get plenty of sunshine today. Made it feel a bit warmer, a bit closer to spring for me, at least after the snow that we had seen. Let's check in now for a first look at our forecast with Fox 66 meteorologist Nick Russo. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Stephanie. In basketball, it's been a great day if you love the maize and blue.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Michigan knocked off number 2 Louisville to advance to the Sweet 16. Fox 66's Tom Eschen joins us from Indianapolis with more.
Good evening from downtown Indianapolis.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. I have to say, Tom always gets the fun jobs, doesn't he?
Yeah, in Indianapolis, yeah, watching this go down.
Yeah, lucky guy for sure. I have to say, though, my bracket not doing so hot anymore. But, you know, it happens to the best of us, right?
You were number 1 at one point in our in-house newsroom poll there.
Yeah, well, while fans in Indy helped push the Wolverines to a win today, Michigan State fans had some different reactions to the Spartans game versus Kansas.
Fox 66's Kyla Peoples headed to Burton to show us.
Well, you know, Joel, Steph,
Yeah, but what do people in Michigan think about all of this? Next on Fox 66 News at 10, we head to Battle Creek to find out why some say Obamacare has them paying more and they're hoping for change. This leads us to our Facebook question of the day tonight. We want to know, do you think President Trump's proposed health care bill will help or hurt Americans if it passes? At 58 degrees, I will take that any day.
Well, I think most eyes have been on basketball today, but not everybody.
Yeah, not everyone. There were plenty of people that put down their remotes and headed out to the movies this weekend, and they were greeted in French. Bonjour. But this beast might not be giving it up too quickly. David Daniel counts down this weekend's top 5. But today in Bay City, it was still full steam ahead. There was no shortage of green if you stopped by the city today there. We take you to the popular annual parade. Yeah, Fox 66's Miranda Parnell takes us on a run through Bay City, showing us why the races mean so much to the area. Midland favorite is up for a prestigious award tomorrow. The H Hotel is being honored by AAA with a 4-diamond award. The travel agency awards the best of the best hotels and restaurants in the state each year with this honor. The ceremony is tomorrow afternoon. Futuristic ideas are on display this weekend at Kettering University in Flint. It's the 60th annual Flint Regional Science Fair, wrapping up this afternoon with an award ceremony. More than 300 students from Genesee, Bay, Saginaw, Midland, Lapeer, St. Clair, Tuscola, and Shiawassee counties in there with their projects to share and show off. I think it's the up and downs, though, that get us. All of a sudden, we're spoiled with those warm days in February. Yeah. then we get more snow. So I think that's what makes the winter worse than it really was.
Exactly. It was a bit of a shock to the system.
And all that money, and there's no easy way to figure out how much a particular medicine might cost you at a pharmacy. Well, everyone was just on the couch today, I think for the last couple days here.
Screaming and yelling at the TV set. I mean, it's March, it's that time. It was a tale of two teams today.
For Max and Maggie's families, the loss this week, though, was much greater. You're taking a look now at the latest outage map from Consumers Energy, and it's pretty cold outside right now, which makes things tough for people who are still without their heat tonight. Most do have their lights back on now, but several thousand, as you can see here on this map, still waiting. In Midland, downtown businesses were hoping people would stop by and say hey today during a special event. The Downtown Business Association hosted the event today to meet the store owners. There were special deals at downtown stores and plenty of giveaways. This all to encourage shoppers to consider going to downtown Midland. Coming up next on NBC25 News at 6, we take you in for an intimate look at fairy tales from around the world as Disney gears up for the release of Beauty and the Beast. That's next. Bad milk is being blamed for a listeria outbreak. Federal investigators say 2 people have died and 4 more put in the hospital. Investigators traced the illnesses to soft cheese that's made using raw milk. The cheese is made by Volto Creamery in New York, but it's sold all over the country. Now, the soft raw milk cheeses involved in this have been recalled. That's after the CDC found that they tested positive for listeria.
Hard to believe, but Disney's Beauty and the Beast came out more than 25 years ago. But in just under a week, the world will get to be Disney's guest as the live-action film is released.
Yeah, the cool thing here, though, you think about your favorite fairy tales and Little Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel. Well, as our digital partner Circus shows us, a lot of those are much older than we may think. I'm thankful for these. It automatically reminds you that you don't have to remember to mess with your clocks. Set your alarm on your set your alarm on your phone. Well, from boxing to basketball, you kind of got it all.
Right.